Yeah, welcome to Academy of Tone 257. Tonight with Bernd Kiltz, the one and only.
Oh,
Gitarrenlehreronline.de.
Thank you very much. I didn't know this was in English. No, I'm just kidding. This was like the stewardess was talking on my flight from the holidays yesterday. Yesterday. I just came home yesterday.
Where have you been?
In Fuerteventura.
Fuerteventura.
And I think this means lots of wind, and there was lots of wind. Yeah.
Did you do surfing or anything?
No, I don't do stuff like that.
Okay. The only thing you like to do is push bike riding.
Yeah.
Like myself. But you are a
racing bike. Like the
fast one.
Road bike.
The fast one.
The fast one, yes.
I'm more the relaxed type of guy, but I enjoy it at least 3 times a week, just for my mental freshness, fresh air, and get some sunlight and
I try to.
Vitamin D.
I try to. 2 kids, so sometimes it's difficult.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, well, tonight we have a couple of topics. The first one, of course, is Bernd released his second. Is this your second solo album?
This is my second solo album, and for all the English-speaking people out there, it is actually instrumental. So it's totally...
You understand it.
Yeah, it totally doesn't matter where you live.
Yeah, we don't
what
have
you
to
speak, what language you speak.
Nothing to translate. And the titles are English, I guess.
The titles are actually English, but Henning said I should have taken the chance and put them all in funny German words, but I didn't do that.
Okay, pain of discipline, which comes a little bit from your teaching side.
Yes.
So the torture or the teacher, or what is the message?
Yeah,
here?
no pain, no gain is actually what says it all. People say that, you can become a professional guitar player in 12 weeks, just follow my program. Yes, bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry if I say it. Can I say this?
Yeah,
or is it like beep?
No. The thing is, I totally agree on you have to put some effort and spend hours with the instrument.
Yeah.
Maybe you are the more pain and gain type of guy. I'm more the easygoing kind of guy, but still having hours with the instrument and remembering also having a little bit of pain in a few hard sections. Sometimes when you do stuff that is, I don't know, that doesn't come easy to you. There's certain things, for me, they come easy understanding, but there are certain things that are actually weird in my world, and then I have to work on it. And that's,
if you do that,
you have to have discipline.
But you said that the most important thing, actually really the most important thing, is to have your instrument in your hand a lot.
Yeah.
And not just see it as like some nuisance. Is it just the right word? So I have to practice guitar. If that's your mindset, then just don't do it.
Yeah. No,
I want to play the guitar. It's just like I was on holidays. I didn't bring my guitar, and that was a very bad idea because I was longing for the guitar.
Yeah.
I said, I'm bored. Mm-hmm. I'm so bored. I want to play guitar, and next time I will bring it with me.
I always have the same discussion with my girlfriend when we go on vacation. And on my vacation, the first week I was with no guitar. And then I decided, fuck, I have to get the guitar out. And I had to screw my neck back on the guitar, tune it, and had at least half a week before we came home to have a guitar in my hands. And I really enjoyed it. But of course, we are both busy. So when we have family time, it's sometimes also okay to stay away from the instrument for a week at least.
Actually, what I found out, because I had it with me on some other holidays.
Yeah.
And one time we were in Thailand, and I said, I want to bring my guitar. And she said, yeah, whatever, bring your guitar. Yeah. If you really have to bring your guitar, bring your guitar. And I brought my guitar, and I played it, I think, 5 times for half an hour. But I have that holiday in my mind, not the only reason was the guitar, that it was so like easy and because I always had the possibility to play the guitar. It was standing there.
Yeah.
or like lying there on the couch or whatever,
Yeah.
and I could just grab it and oh, okay,
Yeah.
and then go drink a mojito, right? But if it's not there and you think, the guitar, I have to have my guitar with me, that's a mindset thing,
Yeah.
right? And you think, I'm not able to play the guitar. But if you're not longing to play the guitar, I can tell you, you have to have the longing.
Yeah.
Everything else is not important if you don't have the longing to play.
What is the thing that you are longing for in the guitar? For me, I have, I'm a typical Strat guy, and I like my... very bluesy, my world on your song. But what is the thing that gives you a kick when you have the guitar in your hands?
Actually, two things. It's the sound.
Yeah.
If I have a really good sound, I'm like here. Oh no, not this one. Not this one.
Overdrive, please.
This
Yeah.
one. And then also stuff like this. Just love to play fast, so
Hey, cool. Me too. I saw that you also do like hybrid picking once in a while. I mean, you do.
Did I?
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
I noticed.
I sometimes
Because usually the guys that like the speed picking, with alternate picking or whatever economy, they sometimes don't do that much of the. But I could see it. I thought, okay, nice one. I believe the older you get, the more chicken picking you become. It's lazy, it sounds cool, and it's somehow, I don't know, I like it because...
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I used to play this stuff. Always when I can use it, I do use it, like especially for string skipping. Because the finger is there. I mean, you just have to move it. It's
Exactly, yeah.
It's lazy.
It's lazy. It's already there. Okay, when we're talking about, let's talk a little bit more about the album. So you had one before, which was
From 2006. Yeah.
So this is like almost 20 years later.
Yeah, I wrote the songs when I was at music university.
For the first album.
Yes, and I played my Abschlussprüfung, my exam. You have to, in Germany, you have to play an exam. And I was using 4 songs of the old album.
Yeah.
I was at a jazz school, but they were like free-thinking jazz school, so I was allowed to play my fusion progressive metal shit. Also, I had to play some jazz tunes, of course. Right? There's a video of it on my YouTube channel from the first from the concert, and I also play like a fingerstyle jazz thing. It's in the middle. Just skip it. Just skip it.
Yeah, there was a band called Johnny Hates Jazz, and I'm not hating jazz. Sorry, don't get me wrong, but I'm also not a jazz guy. I have to admit.
Oh, I just this one story comes to mind that like I think in the same week. There was one trombone player, and he played his exam thingy, and he had somebody buying his trombone right after the concert. So after the concert was done, he was like, whoop.
Here we go. Bye-bye, end of it.
Yeah, no, that's not the goal. I really enjoyed playing the concert and practicing for it, and it gave me a lot. And then I did the album with those songs, and I wanted to do a second one all the time, but I played like cover gigs, I was teaching, I had a lot to do. And then
you played a lot of cover or functional bands for how many years? At least 10 years.
30 years.
30 years.
Yeah.
So this
I
was
started with 17 and then I played until like 2 years ago. And then I said, like right after COVID, when I noticed that the general public doesn't give a fuck about musicians, then I noticed and then I, just before my online guitar school, which I have, it's in German, just blew up. And I made so much money of it that I didn't have to play cover gigs to make a living for my family anymore.
So for the Gitarrenlehrer online teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, we can go into our local dialect, but this comes later. But when did you start the online school? Was this way ahead of COVID, or was this just like with COVID as a reaction to COVID? Or
I noted a date. I think it's in August 2026. Then it's 10 years. So 2016 in August.
Yeah.
I just started with 2 courses, and people could buy from that. That was the first sale on the. I think on the 8th of August 2016 was the first sale, and I only offered a subscription at this point. So the first subscription customer was like almost 10 years ago.
Okay, and then of course 16,
then it like was very slow
because 16, the way ahead of COVID, 17, 18, 19, and then
it started. But 3 months before COVID, I had some viral video on YouTube, and suddenly subscribers started going this, and also they bought my courses.
Yeah,
and then it blew up, and COVID gave it a push, of course, but it started before COVID.
Yeah, cool. And you were there at the right time because you prepared yourself for being the Gitarrenlehrer online and already warmed up by doing
not knowing that something like this would happen.
Yeah, and that's another good lesson for all of us. You should have several fields
Eggs in your basket.
Exactly. If you are a one-trick pony, you can be totally fucked because there is something like COVID or something happens and you have nothing to do. If you have 4 or 5 different options to spend the time like me with the amps and then with the music, and then I had a time where I was more a composer and I made more money as a composer than with anything else. So I'm a ordentliches Mitglied of der GEMA.
Oh yeah, I'm an unordentliches Mitglied of the GEMA.
Okay.
Is it called like this? I'm also GEMA. I also earn a little bit of GEMA money, but it's like maybe $1,000 a year.
Yeah, I now it's peanuts. But I was at a point where I had 6-figure number ones.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't.
But only for a year because I had also a very nice coincident. I was making music for advertising, and there's a Vic Medi Night. You know the
yes, I know
the spray for the if you have a cold.
Like a kind of gel you can.
Yeah, so
you sleep like a baby.
Schnupfenspray. So for sneezing, and it went. They used it all the time, and then I had in the same year I had a lot of things on television, which gave me. ARD, like the first German program, what is it? A police criminal kind of thing that was played on all the 13 stations at the same time. This is your jackpot. So you can sit there and you watch your movie and you know exactly, oh, this music now.
You sit there like this with a beer?
Cheers. You know, this minute is whatever, 20 euros, and this is by 13, you know, because it's 13 stations doing it at the same time. And this was every Sunday morning, and I had 6 episodes, and then the whole thing was repeated in smaller stations, and it was repeated on the big ones again. And then anyway, what I'm trying to say is I was lucky to hit that jackpot for a while. And then this was over. You know, like if I would have stopped there and had nothing else, I would be bankrupt now. So being self-employed, musician, composer, amp guy, whatever, something always works and, and others don't. And this makes me relax because I know if something doesn't work, I'm pretty confident that something else will. You know?
Yeah, I can just totally agree with you there. I always did teaching, even if my gigs were working really good. I had times where I played like 70 gigs, good paid gigs a year. But I also was teaching because I knew if I couldn't like do the gigs or if the band kicks me out, which actually happened. One band did kick me out and I lost like 15 gigs in a matter of a second.
Yeah.
Where they said they kicked me out. I lost 15 gigs.
Yeah.
It was not actually really my fault. It's like there was
happens.
a misunderstanding.
Yeah, sure. Shit happens. Yeah. And then, you know, you cannot predict the future. So, you know, you make your plans and you are ready for this and that. But if you don't have like a plan B or a side job or something like
actually,
that.
funny thing, I played then in other bands which paid a lot more than the original band, which I didn't know before, but they paid like double.
Yeah.
And I made like a year later, I made like
much
double
more.
the money as with the other bands. So.
And you have to make that kind of experience, and then you become more relaxed in your life, and then this
especially as a musician, never only do one thing.
Yeah.
Never. Do gigs, do teaching, see if you can compose something. Maybe you have an idea for a product.
Yeah. Yeah. And
write a book.
Yeah.
I wrote some.
You had 6 books?
6, I have 6. And now, news. You hear it? No, I'm not able to. No, I'm not allowed to talk about it. Forget it.
Forget it. Okay.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. Then anyway, let's.
Guitar Summit. Guitar Summit. Something will come out in Guitar Summit.
Okay. So news from Bernd at Guitar Summit 2025, which is September, end of September, I think.
Yeah.
And talking about news in September, I have the news that Andy Timmons is coming.
He's so good.
He's so good. And Andy again from last year, and who else? I'm working. I'm quite well connected, and let's see what there's some things you might see at Guitar Summit, and we are all working behind the scenes to make great things happen.
Yeah, I'm doing also a workshop for Alfred Publishing, my Verlag, my publisher. Alfred Music Publishing, my publisher.
You can learn German in this course here too.
Together with Philipp Brehm, our amazing bass player, who also did a very good book, which is called Bass Matrix.
Yeah.
On Alfred. And we will do a workshop together.
Nice.
I don't know what it's about. We'll probably play a song of mine because he played in my band on the not on the album, unfortunately, but on the live gig, which you can view the live gig, the whole live gig for the album.
The album
there
is
it
here.
is. You can see it on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
At Bernd Kiltz.
See? And you mentioned Alfred Publishing.
Yes.
That brings back my memory that I have a book at Alfred Publishing. Unfortunately, it's sold out, but it's playing in the style of Thomas Blug. And this is way old. I think this goes back to last century, 1998.
I made my Abitur in 97.
See, so. I have, and I wrote my first book back then. But see, it's good to do stuff like that. It all adds up. Let's talk about the Guitar Summit and the courses, because of course, now we have the Guitar Summit. We mentioned the Guitar Summit is a gathering. It's a trade show. It's maybe the best guitar show on the planet.
Yeah, it's like NAMM, but only for guitar and in Germany.
Yeah, it's in Mannheim, and the guys of Guitar Summit approached me in shortly after COVID, and this is where they started their Guitar Summit Academy, and they wanted somebody that does something online because meeting in public was not possible anymore. And that was the starting point of this guitar course, which is the Blues Rock Masterclass. And this course was recorded in the room above us, which is actually my living room. in the times when I was just moving in this house, and my girlfriend was not living there already, so we had, of course, a messy.
Otherwise, no
yeah,
chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we had a video studio. The video pictures look super clean, but
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome quality.
yeah. But you know, the house was a bit messy. Now everything is.
It's like my recording room. On camera, everything is clean. Everything you can't see on the camera is totally messed up.
I've been there, so I know.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, I know. It's the truth. So this was my course in English that I have done for Guitar Summit Academy, and this course was the first online course I've done. I've done stuff like that in the past for Guitar, the magazine that doesn't exist anymore in Germany, which was on DVDs. School of Rock it was called, but this is very long ago. So this was the first thing, and then you came along and you had the idea, hey, let's do something in German for the Germans. And maybe...
And actually, I didn't know that you did this course.
Really?
No, I really didn't know. They don't believe me, but I really didn't know. I thought it was my idea. Why doesn't Thomas Blug do his blues rock stuff for our guitar school?
Yeah, okay. Well, whatever. In the
And
end...
then I found out before we filmed it,
Yeah.
because my marketing guy was saying, do you know that he has a course in English? And then I just said, yeah, it's in English. Doesn't concern us. It's in English.
So the thing is, we have like 2 courses now. One is with the Guitar Summit Academy, and the other one is Blues Rock King on your platform.
Yeah.
Your platform is...
Gitarrenlehrer Online, and the course is in German. So for all the German viewers who want a course in their mother language,
then go ahead and check this out.
Yeah, check this out.
And the English course is the Guitar Summit Academy. There are things that are similar, because when I talk about the basic stuff, you know, shuffle rhythm, explain the foundation of blues and rock, that's the same for both courses. But then I have a different kind of outline on certain topics, especially when it comes to styles of different players. So what we can do maybe is, let me see if I can get my laptop going, and we get the...
Oh, and by the way, the song you heard in the beginning was Magma Fields from my album, which we jammed a little bit.
Yeah, you can see.
We didn't say that.
Yeah, no, no Zoom, please beenden. I'm not wanted, so thank you. So this is the course. Do we get a signal? I have a signal, okay.
Yeah.
This is the Guitar Summit Academy course. And as we can see, there's tons of backing tracks you can download. I don't know, there's a big download of maybe 30. It's a lot. And then there's the whole PDF things with... wait a minute, I have to do lower volume. There is all the notation. There's tons of notation. They noted everything that I ever played, which I have to admit is something that I could not do.
Yeah, we had also somebody writing it down. It was not me.
I think it's...
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you.
So yeah, you have to have an expert or a female expert in your case.
Yeah.
And that helps so much, because I wouldn't have the time and the patience. So when we are looking here at the content, you know, there's some basic stuff and the major blues and the minor blues, and from very basic beginning, I spice it up with different rhythms and chords up to jazz, blues, and then of course the turnaround, and giving several examples of all these different things, rhythm guitar, the scales, my personal theory on scales because I'm self-taught and I do know the modes, and I explain the modes and I see the world through my simple explaining, and that's something in the German course I could do something that is rather hilarious for the Germans, because I used Alle meine Entchen, which is the first song you ever learn when you see the light. So everybody knows the song. It's basically a major scale.
Yeah.
And what I did in your course was I could of course use that Alle meine Entchen theme, and then I changed it and always played it through different modes, demonstrating that in the end it's so fucking simple. Modes is just the same notes with a different bass note. That's one way of looking at it. So if I go, and I've done things.
I played shit.
You know, the Lydian and the Mixolydian mode, they sound so expensive, but in the end it's all Alle meine Entchen. And in German it works so nice. I had so much fun because that is something that works better in German.
Yeah.
On the other hand, there are sections that I think were pretty cool on the other course here. When I explained especially the here's ear training, uncommon modes, harmonic minor, and all this stuff. But I think especially the chapter with the different guitar heroes: Jimi Hendrix, Angus Young, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, Gary Moore, Santana, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Billy Gibbons, John Mayer, Eric Clapton, and I had, for each of the styles, I had a backing track, and there's notation of what I've done, and I kind of used.
Yeah, that's very nice. I looked at it. There's I just saw on the corner of my eye a question here in the chat.
Yeah.
Is the course finished, or will there be more content in the future? For our course at Gitarrenlehrer Online, the German one, I can say that maybe we'll do some editions later this year. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm always open to stuff like this.
Yeah, same here. So I did the courses with guys like you and Guitar Summit because I don't have the time for all that stuff. So I'm the guy that is in front of the camera, doing the thing, thinking about what makes sense and what not, having instruction by somebody like you that is experienced teacher. This is a collaboration kind of thing. I mean, maybe in 50% I was just doing freestyle my thing, but then you came up with the other, can you explain this a little bit more like that? Because that makes more sense. Okay, super, rewind, a little new take, but we had a great flow in recording the course. And so it's always a collaboration of me with a team. It's actually a team. It's, it's not a one-man show because...
And also my Eric was there.
Eric is a fantastic
and
editor.
He always, he sees it from the mind of like a beginner, intermediate.
Yeah.
And he notices things that we don't notice because we play so long. And he says, no, that was not clear.
I see a comment here in the chat, also in Spanish. I know that the Guitar Summit guys have tried to translate into different languages, and it was kind of exciting, but it's not available yet. but they have tried to experiment with it. I don't know if you do the same. It is definitely funny when you see yourself talking Spanish, which I can't.
I tried it with the whole AI thing, and I think it's not ready yet.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Because you would have to have someone to control if it's really like right what you're saying. Because if somebody translates me in Spanish,
you have no
I don't have a clue.
Dos cervezas.
Yeah, dos cervezas.
Yeah, genau. That's
Dos cervezas.
Por favor. Okay. What is this Guitar Summit course? 10 hours. Yeah. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I have to say something about that. It's not about how long something is. It's about how good something is. And I mean, if I can like subtract something in 3 hours that others take 10 hours, I don't want to say anything bad about the Guitar Summit's course.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that it's worth more money.
Yeah. And for me, it's good to have different perspectives on things. So maybe I was talking a different way about things in your course than on the Guitar Summit course. For me, it's clear when I do my things, because it's obvious, and I came to the conclusion this is the way how I see things. In the end, it's 12 notes, and we have to find a way how to deal with this shit.
And it's also the thing, you see, like the one course is $200, the one course is $300, the one course is $50, right? If you book a course and you really go through the course and you do everything that you say or I say, then I mean, the value you get is always like so much more than 200 euros. I mean, I bought myself about 30 online courses, and I don't care how much they cost. Some cost 300 euros.
Yeah.
I also booked one of 30 euros, was great.
Yeah.
But then there's maybe one information
that is important for you. This is the missing link for you to grow as a player, as the guy.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I mean, it's just like the production cost and advertising cost, and it's not like that we're getting like really rich with this stuff.
No,
I mean,
nobody gets rich.
It's really expensive to do stuff like this, to cameras, and we rented a studio and stuff, and like your course was going pretty well. I'm really thankful for that. Ooh. But other courses where I invested the same kind of money didn't go that well.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
Yeah, but I totally understand. And honestly, we are in a business that is not making people really rich.
No.
I mean,
then you have to do something else.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I don't know.
Do something else if you want to make money. I have seen your car is probably the same age like my car. You have an Audi.
Yeah, it's like 17 years old.
Yeah, mine similar. And
I have a lot of expensive guitars, so you too.
Yeah. But okay,
and also it's like the same thing. This guitar is so expensive, and this effect is so expensive. I mean, it's like this. If you say you have like this AMP1, right, Iridium Edition, $700. How was it? $700? No,
800 or something.
Whatever. Right?
Yeah.
We live in the best age ever.
Yeah.
You can order this from Thomann.
Yeah, and it's
try it out.
Yeah.
30 days.
Yeah.
You can play it 30 days, day and night.
Yeah.
If you think it's shit after 30 days, send it back, you get the whole money back.
Yeah.
It's like with my course.
Yeah.
We had, when we sold the course, we had 90 days guaranteed money back.
Oh.
So if you buy it and you think after 90 days that it's not worth $200, you got the whole money back.
Yeah.
Some people did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally okay. That's why we do it. I don't want to sell anything that doesn't get you who buy the course a better guitar player.
Yeah.
That's why I have those guarantees.
Yeah.
And even if it's over, if it was like 92 days and somebody said, oh, I missed it, and we say, yeah. I mean, if it's like 2 years, we say no. Because at some point you have to make like a...
Of course.
But
I mean, we have to protect ourselves also against fraud and scamming.
Yeah, funny thing. I was at Thomann and I talked with a saxophone guy who also does courses.
Yeah.
And he sells to the Spanish market.
Yeah.
So South America and stuff. And he said he doesn't do money back because it gets
dangerous
he
for
gets
him.
screwed.
Yeah, yeah.
He did that, and everybody did after 14 days.
Yeah. I mean, the way how I look at it as a business side is we can only offer what is not making us bankrupt. So this extra guarantee phase is there for honest people that, you know, that we want to offer some extra. If they're not happy, we want to have happy customers.
Yeah,
I mean,
think about it.
Yeah.
If I would offer 90 days money back,
Yeah.
and I knew the course was shit,
Yeah.
I would be pretty stupid.
Exactly.
Right?
So you have to be convinced about the quality of your product. Same here. This is why we offer the 30 days money back guarantee at Thomann or at BluGuitar Direct. So all that stuff is there. And we do get eventually an amp back, but the percentage is so low that I have no problem with it. Maybe that would be a different story in Nicaragua, because
maybe, but I mean the amp is, if you send it back, you don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
If you do 90, if you really practice 90 days your course, you already absorbed it. So that was like a pretty big promise. And there are probably some like 2 or 3 guys who did the course and said, yeah, that's so stupid. But I mean, there are not many. Most people are honest.
Yeah. And that's good.
And most people,
and therefore,
in Germany, I can only say, I don't know the other countries.
Yeah, but the thing is, the honesty gives us the opportunity to be generous and invest back in the trust. You know, if we had only people that would scam us with fraud and stuff, then we could not survive. But this way we can have this luxury of money back guarantee, which I think is great.
Yeah, and on all my courses I have 14 days, and sometimes we extend it to 30 days or to 90 days in this instance. And I mean, if you really watch, you can watch all the videos in 14 days, right? I mean, this course is like 3 hours something. I have courses which go 10 hours, and I think a course of 10 hours is like really a piece of work. I have this one course, it's called Improvisationsprofi. It's the improvisation professional or whatever. It only makes sense in German. And I think it's over 16 hours. It's like 100 lessons, and so you can watch all the lessons. And if you think that's nothing for me, money back.
Yeah, cool.
But that's I sometimes don't get what people complain about. I mean, it's not that you're buying the cat in the sack. How is it called in English? There's probably a saying.
Yeah, a cat in the sack. Okay.
Yeah, you're buying something where you don't know. I mean, you can give it back.
Yeah, that's good.
If it's shit. So I can't sell you shit because you know, and you can give it back.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. You have also established a quite successful YouTube channel. The thing is, when I look at the statistics on the Academy of Tone, and the funny thing is, yesterday your channel was #1 of the people watching the BluGuitar channel. So
that's nice.
That's super nice. Wait a minute, maybe I can Zielgruppe. Wait, it's all German. So region. Here, this is so channels our viewers watch, and the first one
is my channel.
Is your channel.
I see that.
So it's very small. Here is Bernd's channel. Gitarrenlehrer online.
Yeah, you can see it now.
Yeah. And then there's the other German channel, Super Gain. And
Michael Nielsen.
Michael Nielsen is number.
He's so good.
He's so good in Los Angeles. I was at his channel once, and then Nathan Cordy from the UK. Wait a minute, just gives you a few other ones. Session is a German music store. HP 42 Gear Street. We all know that. The Studio Reds from the UK. Premier Guitar, Pete Thorne, Horst Keller, the other German guitar teacher. And Euge Valovierta, killer guitar player.
And then a Super Gain. They have a really nice series. I mean, they're my competitors, but They have a really nice series with this Solar guy, which it's hilarious to watch.
Solar, you mean
This guy that says tone wood doesn't matter, and you have to watch it. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I know
great.
him. We're talking about Professor Dr. Zollner.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's a very special one. I was visiting him, and there's, he is kind of making bold statements that are generally not wrong, but then at the last bit I have to disagree. But anyway,
I watched them all on his channel.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you watch on his channel as a German speaker, and we are both fast talkers.
Yeah.
Not so much in English because I have to think. But in German, we talk so fast that most people don't understand shit. And I have to watch it at 1.75 speed. But otherwise, I immediately go to sleep.
Okay. He is...
Yeah, he's talking like this. And if we measure the waves from the string with this wood and then this wood, we notice it doesn't make a difference.
Aha. Yeah. Okay, talking about German, we are both kind of from this area in Germany, southwest.
Yes, like a little bit, yeah.
And we have a local dialect. So there's a few words that nobody understands. Even the Germans don't understand. Anyone knows what a Dippelappes is? Dippelappes. Put it in the comments. I want to see the locals. What is a Dippelappes? I give you a little hint. This might be a dipple. And the lappes. See, they have a lot of question marks. Well, it's actually a local dish. You put potatoes in there and you roast them. It's probably something like the Swiss Rösti, with I'm German and he doesn't get it. But 4712, he doesn't understand. Dippelappes.
Yeah, that's only like a Saarland,
local.
Actually, a Saarland thing. It's even where I come from, which the dialect is very similar to.
Yeah,
we don't say that.
Yeah.
We know what it is, but we don't say it really.
Yeah. And sometimes when we meet, we have some fun about those secret words that nobody else gets.
Yeah, if we talk German, most people don't understand. If we talk fast and talk our dialect, nobody will get it.
And that's the danger when I'm on his channel, which is German. And on his channel, we sometimes, muss mal gucken, was man da macht. Also kann man 3 Kanäle umschalten, ein bisschen Boost drauf, ein bisschen Hall und dann noch eine Delay drin, saugeil, ne?
Ja, geil. Ja. I was you mentioned HP42. Mm-hmm. We all know HP42. Yeah, he had some special Marshall amps sent to him, and I was scheduled to go there and make videos about them too, because he had to send them right to Nam. So they arrived at Nam at the right time because they didn't have that many.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out. And then I said, Henning, why don't you do them in German? And I put the video on my channel.
Right.
And I had 2 assignments for him. Don't speak Hessisch, like his dialect.
Yeah.
And please don't talk too much jokes.
Yeah.
You can watch them if you're German. They are very funny.
Yeah.
He's talking Hessisch.
Of course.
I can say that. It's very funny.
Yes, Sven, it's Bratkartoffeln, similar. I mean, it's,
Ein bisschen feiner wie Krummbeere, wie gebratene Krummbeere.
Genau, gebratene Krummbeere. Okay, this was our, again, gebraten, gebrode, and Krummbeere is Kartoffeln, potatoes. So it's roasted potatoes, but not in chunks, more mashed in between. It's and there's tons of herbs in it, and it's a bit greasy. It is a local dish. You will be not hungry anymore.
There's a very good description.
Bacon cubes, leeks, NX, Gitarren. Okay. He's probably got it from the internet. The ingredients are cooked together in a cast iron pot. The dipper, exactly, in an oven and fried pan. This is what I had here. Anyway, we have tons of these things. But let's go back to your channel. On your channel, I think it was a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, we had we had a video about the AMP1s, Mercury and Iridium.
Yeah.
And this was the first time when we actually kind of really met. Before I heard your name, and maybe I have seen you and vice versa, but this was the first time we bumped into each other and you checked out the AMP1s. We have a little snippet here with maybe some German comments. Enjoy.
Dass bei Zimmerlautstärke das Ding koppelt,
Ja.
ist schon Wahnsinn, ja.
Das ist das Ergebnis meines puristischen Ansatzes. Das mag ich halt an der Analogtechnik. Ich habe keinerlei Wandlung, ich habe keine Latenz, ich habe keine Frequenzbeschneidungen, außer sie sind gewollt. Für mich natürlich das, wo ich sage, das ist wie Bio, das ist halt natürlich gewachsen.
Wäre jetzt für mich ein schöner Solo-Sound, muss ich ehrlich sagen. Also wenn ich da jetzt hier...
Bernd the Shredder. Yeah, arpeggio shred is an art, and it's cool. Talking about videos, YouTube videos. The other day I have an American guy called Vinny the X that I shared on my social media profiles. He also did an interview with me, and I was so happy because he understood the amp so well, and he is so happy with what, he contacted me. I had not, he has a video channel, and he reached out, and he simply, I made somebody happy. And that makes me happy when I see other people being happy. Winnie the X, check it out, it's on the social medias. And I think I made you happy with the Nanocab. This was one of the latest videos that you have done, like
it's like
week.
2 weeks or 1 week ago.
Yeah.
Because I heard it when you had it with you on the course recording.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is so nice and small. This would be like perfect, because I have my table here and there's a window and there are all the other big tube amps.
And you have not so much room.
No, I have not so much room, but the Nanocab is so small that I cannot put it on the other side.
Yeah.
And at the moment I have a little angle top on it. We can see that later.
Yeah.
And it's standing there, and this is the only possibility, so I can open the balcony door. Everything else is too big.
Yeah.
But this is perfect, and then I can play like, and I also don't have to stand up. I just can have like, and it's on.
Yeah.
Don't have to stand up, and can play it totally analog.
Yeah.
Without, here it comes.
Latency.
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 No latency.
Let's watch the short clip of the Nanocab. Because I like the way you do what you do, and you mic'd it up. You had clean sound, you had overdrive sounds, and it just sounds like a good cabinet. And the thing, it's so fucking small. I mean,
So small.
Yeah.
And so light.
yeah. And for me, again, it's something like I just try to, as an example, see if it works. You know, how small can you go with a 12-inch speaker? 12-inch is my game. 10-inch is very special for the blues guys. I'm not a 10-inch guy.
No, I'm not a tennis guy either.
So 12-inch was the thing. And then I thought, how make it as small as possible and still sounding as big as possible?
And it's also sounding good at
low
low
volume.
volume, which most don't.
Yeah, and the reason for it is the paper of the cone is lightweight. I have specially designed speakers with lightweight paper because they already come alive at low volume. Some speakers have thick paper and they need to have their 50 watt going to sound balanced. But maybe you have noticed it sounds very full and the same sound at kind of almost any volume.
Yeah.
It doesn't change
Same
much.
sound.
Yeah. And that's something I learned in the past, actually, when I have designed an amp with using Ketna. It was the Zentera modeling amp. And back in the days, the modeling wasn't as good. And we had to find something to get more life into this product, which was not bad, but you know, more. I'm always a perfectionist. And then I had Celestion tortured to make lightweight membranes. So this is what I learned in the year 2000 already. Watch this little video of the Nanocab. It's short.
Ja, alles in allem kann ich sagen, ich gebe diese Box nicht mehr her. Sorry, Thomas. Der hat die mir geschickt. Ne? Der dachte wahrscheinlich, ich gebe sie zurück. Aber Thomas, nee, kriegst du nicht mehr. Die ist hier. Die bleibt hier. Da hat aber irgendwas mit dem Logo nicht gestimmt da eben. Also.
Yeah, the angle had a slightly changed logo. But this was a April Fool little thing that I've done. And by the way, I'm totally cool with Angle, guys. We are all
in contact
family.
with Angle, and we like each other. It's very cool.
So,
and there I saw some
comment here in the chat.
comments. First thing about the guitar. This is a Zeal guitar. Zeal Bastian Kanbach from Kaiserslautern built this. He built it not for me. He actually won a competition with it from the German Ministry of something. I can't translate
Commerce
it.
or something like
Yeah, he won a prize, the first prize. And I saw it hanging on the wall because it was curiously hanging on the wall for like 2 years. And I always visit him like 2 to 3 times a year to get my guitars in order. And I buy guitars from him as well, which I make to fit. Right, I have like 5 now.
Wow.
With this I have 6, I think. No, 5. 6.
Yeah.
Actually. And then I saw it hanging on the wall and I said, hey man, do you want to sell that guitar? I can make a video about it, you know, then you can sell it because people then see it. And I took it home. There were old strings on it. I tried it out with old strings. And everybody played it and it was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then I put new strings on it, cleaned it a little bit, and then I played it and I said, no, you're not getting that back.
It stays with you.
That's mine.
Yeah.
And I said, just write me invoice.
Yeah.
It's an awesome guitar. It's something I would not have ordered actually.
Yeah.
But the thing is that this Hals-Korpusübergang, the neck joint.
Yeah, neck joint. Yeah.
It's effectively like a through neck.
Okay.
Because you're here. You can put your thumb here and you put your little finger, your pinky, on the 24th fret. And it's totally, I mean, I could play arpeggios here.
Yeah.
It's like a through neck.
Yeah.
And it sounds awesome. It's light. And I think it's different looking.
Sure.
But somebody wrote like the Satriani model. It's a little bit truth about that,
Yeah, but it's not a copy. You know,
No.
I mean, he still has his own thing going with the guitar. Yeah, cool.
And it sounds awesome.
And I kind of like also the humbucker covered in white.
Yeah, those are DiMarzios. It's very special.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's something super
It's a thing
unique.
of beauty.
There's another
question. Yeah,
the Tone King
the
pedal.
Tone King pedal. No, the Tone King pedal is a preamp pedal. This
is a proper amp.
Is a proper amp. This has a 100 watt real tube
power amp.
Yeah. And the Vorstufe, the preamp, is analog, but not tubes.
Yeah.
Totally different. And the Tone King has 3 tubes in it, which two tubes make the preamp sound. They have 1 tube, which people probably misunderstand. They have it for a power amp simulation.
Yeah.
Because they try to get the sound of a Fender amp.
Yeah.
And Fender amps get their distortion from the power amp, not the preamp.
Yeah.
So they simulated that, not really simulated because it's a real tube, but they put it like in a low voltage, low watt simulation, but it's really, the pedal is awesome.
Yeah, no question.
It has this Fender distortion sound, like I have the real Tone King amp.
Yeah, and you can compare it to the amp.
Yes, and they sound exactly the same.
Yeah.
Which is a pity because now I have to sell the Tone King amp. They really sound exactly the same, but it has no power amp in it.
Yeah.
You cannot connect a cabinet. You have to have a power amp, and then it gets like much more expensive. And also, you have this distortion, this Fender distortion sound, and a little more in the direction of a plexi. But if you take the AMP1,
you have
like a lot more sounds.
Yeah.
You have a really nice reverb and a really nice tremolo effect, but they're digital.
Yeah.
You have to know that.
Yeah.
So, but both awesome devices.
I mean, see, on this market, I'm happy that there is new products coming out that deliver great sounds, and that's not the thing. Just this is something that has a different concept, and what some people don't get is, as we all know, I love tubes, and they are all here in my museum. And I have played all these amps in my life. But if anyone has seen me over the last 15 years, this is the only thing I recorded with, that I played live with, and it is on the same level like my good old beauties in the background here. And my big problem or challenge is to explain people that these components here, these little guys in there, do the job of the old big guys. And a lot of people cannot imagine that.
Yeah.
Especially not our American friends sometimes.
Especially if you lift it and it's 1.2 kilos and you said, this can sound good.
Yeah.
Because it's in your head. Yeah. And I can recommend to every one of you what you should do.
Listen, try.
Blind tests.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody should do blind tests because blind tests will fuck you up.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. I just did a video which is not yet come out. It will come out in 2 weeks, I think. Mm-hmm. I have 3 Les Pauls. Mm-hmm. They're all mine, so I don't judge really. One is a custom shop Maybach. Mm-hmm. The other is a Panucci, one of the greatest guitar builders of our time. And the third is a Murphy Lab Les Paul, which I bought at Thomann on the spot. I saw it in the vitrine, lying. It was exactly the color I love. I played it. I didn't ask what it cost, and I bought it. And then I said, "Oh fuck," because it was too expensive, actually, really. And then I did the video, and they feel different.
Yeah,
I can't tell you that the Maybach feels the same as the Murphy Lab or the Panucci. They feel different.
Yeah.
The Maybach and the Panucci and the Murphy Lab are pretty close. Mm-hmm. They really feel old as well. Mm-hmm. The Maybach doesn't really feel old. It plays a little more modern. It plays easier, actually. Mm-hmm. But as I listened to the sound samples, I was like, what the fuck? I mean, good luck. I did a blind test for you. There are 2 videos. One, you don't see the guitars, you only hear. And then I have a special guitar in there, which is maybe not a Les Paul.
Uh-huh.
I won't tell you.
Yeah.
I won't tell you what it is.
And
See if you hear
Yeah.
which one is the different guitar.
Yeah.
It is not a Les Paul. Maybe it is a Les Paul. Maybe
Yeah.
it's a cheap Les Paul from Harley Benton. Maybe. You never know. I can do. Last time I did this test, I put in a Strandberg. And people said it was the Murphy Lab.
Oh, fuck.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, and then you can say which is the Gibson.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
enough about that.
We are so biased by what we are seeing. You know,
Yeah.
if I see this guitar, I already react to the cosmetics of it. You know, and it's part of the human thing. But in the end, there is so much blah 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 going on, and the truth is sometimes only if you kill your eyes, you can really use your ears. I mean, this is why Stevie Wonder is such a great musician, because he doesn't see his wife. He can smell her and he can listen to the music. And, you know, that's blind test for me, same thing. It's so important. And another thing that we came up when I was at your place, just by coincidence, is like we did a setting for recording when we were shooting the AMP1 video that we showed you earlier. And then we had this thing about, what is the thing about latency? We run into something.
Oh, it was different. You came in and I was like, you were at the front putting your bags in, and I was going back and played like two, 3 notes with the setup I just connected.
Yeah.
And that was a Universal Audio Auxbox Stomp.
Okay, the
And
smaller.
some modular.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But the latency, I just measured the latency before that. It was 5.4 milliseconds.
Yeah.
And you came in and you said, you have latency there.
Yeah.
You heard just me playing. You didn't
Yeah.
play yourself. You had me playing the guitar,
Okay.
and it's coming out of the speakers, and you said about 6 milliseconds.
Yeah, I'm very, I you know, because I grew up analog, I grew up zero latency. So I'm biased to zero latency. And any latency, I can handle latency up to 5 milliseconds. But I know there is a point where I feel disconnected.
Yeah,
and this,
me too.
And this is something, even if it sounds killer, it's no fun anymore. And what I'm trying to find out is how many pieces of gear we have in the signal path creating latency. If there's only one little guy doing a little bit of latency, it's okay. But if you have 3 pieces, like in your setup, this makes latency, this makes latency, and some people have studio monitors that have latency, and it feels like you're playing and your guitar amp is, hello, where are you, guitar amp, on the other side of the room. And
I experienced that, and it really shocked me. And at the moment, I didn't know what it was.
okay.
You know, I played in cover bands and stuff, and then those digital mixers came up, where you could put your iPad and you can control the mix. Like, I thought, this is heaven. This is so great.
Yeah.
And then I played, and like it was a funk band, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, this sounds like shit.
Yeah.
And I was blaming it on my stuff.
Yeah.
No, I had a modular.
Right.
It was a fractal unit. I know that it was not the fractal unit because at home it sounded great, right? I had a wireless system. But I think it was an analog wireless system.
Probably.
I mean, they all suck. But
Yeah.
then it was.
The mixing console.
I had a monitor box.
Yeah.
That had digital, like 2 milliseconds.
Yeah.
And the mixer I was going into had like 4 milliseconds. Then the fractal has 2.3 milliseconds.
Yeah.
And the wireless system had probably something.
Yeah.
And I think it was over 11 or 12 milliseconds in all. And I was standing like 3 meters from the box, and I was like totally disconnected.
Yeah.
I played, and it was hard to play.
Yeah.
It was like, it felt like just, I thought I had to pick harder and stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's weird. It's like you have, I mean, like having rubber bands. You know, when you try, you know, it's like when you are fresh and full of energy, and you feel like bike. You know, I mean, you when your bike reacts to your muscle, that's killer. And with the same thing when the guitar is there. But anything that, if you have a super heavy bike, it's
or
like
the tire is flat.
yeah, yeah.
It felt like a flat tire, playing like a flat tire.
Yeah, and that's no fun. I mean, this is like you have to fight to get to normal.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm doing stuff different now. I'm only playing monitor boxes, which have no latency, which are totally analog.
Yeah.
I mean, you give up some flexibility. And I also go directly from, I play Fractal live, right?
Yeah.
I go directly from my Fractal to the monitor box.
Yeah.
I don't go over the mixing desk.
Yeah.
I put the mixing desk in my Fractal and mix it in the Fractal.
Right.
To go to the monitor box.
Yeah.
So I can guarantee I only have the 2.3 milliseconds, and then I don't notice it.
That's okay, absolutely. Hey, we have a little video of the latency that we experienced when I was at your place. Watch this little clip.
Nice. So, und jetzt gucken wir mal, wir haben ein absolut modernstes Gerät und das ist die Stomp, also oder das Stomp, keine Ahnung, das ist eine, also im Prinzip die Box, die ihr kennt, die ich jahrelang gespielt habe, als Stompbox, sind alle Funktionen der Box drin.
Tierisch.
Klingt fantastisch, ja. Du hast auch ein Delay drin, du hast Reverb drin, du hast den geilen Kompressor drin von UAD. Diese Speaker-Simulation, das sind keine ERs, die sind dynamisch, du hast einen Speaker, bla bla bla. Ja? Also ein ganz modernes Gerät, das ist vor 2 Wochen rausgekommen. Okay, stecken wir mal um und messen das. Dann ist hier Output, machen wir hier hoch, hier oben rein und hier auch oben rein.
So,
fertig.
Nächste Aufnahme. Läuft?
Moment, läuft. Reicht schon. Und dann gucken wir mal. Oh, ist irgendwie jetzt besser. Mach sie aus? Nee.
Nee, mach mal groß genug.
Oh ja, oh.
Wie viele Striche da kommen.
Oh.
Halleluja.
Jetzt habe ich es verschoben.
Hey.
Ihr seht mal, wie klein wir jetzt gerade ranzoomen auch, ne? Also es ist schon auch...
Ja, aber okay, komm. So, jetzt zählst du mal Striche, jeder Strich.
Oh Mann.
So.
Da ist es.
Ja.
So.
So, und jetzt musst du Striche zählen.
Hierhin.
1,
2, 3,
4.
4. Weil hier fängt es auch erst da an.
Okay, also gut.
4 Millisekunden. Also 8-mal so lang wie das 8 Jahre alte Gerät.
Ja, klar, damit kann man sich natürlich auch Prozessor-Power kaufen, weil die können ja, ne, währenddem meiner das einmal abarbeitet, könnte ich jetzt auch hingehen und könnte noch mehr Sachen machen, also mehr Effekte damit machen, wie die es ja auch machen, und lass mir halt einfach Zeit, verstehst du? Mein Prozessor kann ja, statt dass er schnell was abarbeitet, das eine abarbeiten und das andere auch noch machen. Also man kann da mit Prozessorleistung kaufen quasi.
Ja, aber ich finde es erstaunlich, dass dein 8 Jahre altes Gerät ein Achtel der Latenz hat und das klingt ja auch geil.
Ja.
Ich meine, da ist natürlich viel mehr drin und also das ist eine andere Technologie, ja. Aber ich war leicht geschockt, muss ich ehrlich sagen.
Ja, Latency is is something to look at and find a way how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And
and you should measure it.
Yeah.
And if it's over 11,
it's a no-go.
It's a no-go.
Yeah. And we had
under 6 is very good.
And we had the Blubox as the fastest speaker emulator possible. And I can tell you why. Because we have done dirty tricks, we are dirty deeds, we are dirty with the Blubox. It's under 1 millisecond. It's 0.6, I think we measured.
Nothing is as good as this.
Yeah.
I mean, even the boss is normally it's the fastest with 0.95 or something.
Yeah, close to 1 millisecond is the usual thing.
The Tone King stuff and the Synergy stuff is very good at under 2. Yeah. But nothing is under 1 normally.
And this is the Blubox. So that's my thing. I try to be as analog as possible, and this is and then you can spare a digital whatever pedal in the signal chain easily, no problem.
Yeah.
You know, because we are kind of very close to 0. Okay, talking about latency studio situations, talking about your album, I find it quite interesting to talk about the process. You recorded at home and did reamping.
Yeah, the thing is, I wrote the songs with my computer, and to compose, I used my Fractal sometimes, and plugins when I was feeling inspired. I used the Gojira plugin from Neural DSP. I used Plini for the solos, and a lot of XFX when I was in the songwriting phase.
Right.
Because then I quickly have my sound.
Yeah, because kind of it's all in the DAW, it's all in the digital domain, and it's on your computer.
And then I did for the songs, I did some guide drum tracks. Maybe sometimes I only had a click.
Yeah.
And because I had in mind what it was sounding like, what I wanted it to sound. And then I recorded all the guitars with plugins. And I tell you why not XFX. Because the studio wanted it at 44.1 kilohertz. And the Fractal is 48, like everything else.
Yeah.
Like everything else. Everything is 48, but a CD, a real CD, because I wanted a real CD, is 44.1. And the studio does CDs.
Yeah, and
right?
by the way, this is real vinyl.
This is real vinyl from a digital master, I have to say.
Yeah, which is kind of a weird thing, but...
I wanted it.
Yeah, sure.
Because I have a Plattenspieler.
Yeah, I have a turntable.
Yeah, turntable.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I listen to it and it's heavy, nice vinyl. I mean, it's a bit bizarre to have this kind of music on vinyl because it's very progressive.
Yeah,
but hey, it's a cool thing.
Yeah, no blues on that. Yeah, and then because I knew when I do an album in Colos-Saal Studios, where they have like all the great heavy amps and they have like the best cabinets, the best microphones, and somebody who knows how to do it.
Yeah, Chris is his name, right?
Chris, but Chris didn't do it. His colleague was doing it, Kai, and Kai is as good.
Engineer,
he's so good.
Yeah.
I wanted to have real amps, but I didn't want to play everything in the studio or at home with my amps because then I would have to use load boxes and stuff. I wanted the real deal, but reamping is the real deal because the Verlust,
loss.
The loss you have from recording it digital and then playing it through the amp is like very minimal. With a good converter, and I had a Neve direct box going into
super high-end
RME 3,000 euro sound card. So there's no loss. Nothing. It sounds exactly like you play it in. Maybe you don't have the rebound from the amp in the room, but as loud as they played it when they recorded it, I don't want to be in the room.
And this is what they actually have done. They cranked the amps to make them hot, cooking, working, and getting more than just preamp distortion from the amp. So a little bit of spongy zack. That's the thing in the studio. You know, you can dial in whatever you like. And for me, it's good to hear because I haven't been to that studio, but in my studio days, I had my amps always cooking because they come a little bit more alive when they are at high volume. And so I totally understand there is a trade of, like in your little home, you could never have something at this volume, or you have a load box. And there's always a little compromise here and there. In their studio, they could crank the amps, they could mic up the cabinets, or use IRs, but I think they had really...
Everything is really mic'd up.
Yeah, and this is why...
There are two parts of the album where we used, at one point we had a clean sound where I mixed some DI signal in.
Sure.
I think it's in Wolfgang's Nightmare. We left a little bit of the Plini plugin. A little bit, it's just on top. And we used actually a capture of an amp firm I don't want to mention. We used a Meshuggah amp, a capture of a Meshuggah amp, through a camper. Don't tell anyone. As an addition on the last song, to make the last song even more brutal than the rest. Everything else is a 5150.
I mean, you see my phone calls from today.
Everything else is a 5150. a rectifier,
Yeah.
and we had a transatlantic for the clean sounds.
Oh, nice. Mesa, yeah.
Yeah, and we pushed it with a J Rocket at the Steve Stevens signature pedal with the EQ on it.
J Archer.
It's like, J Archer. It's like a clone pedal with a
an
graphic
extra
EQ.
Extra EQ, so you can refine the frequencies.
That was the solo sounds.
Yeah.
And the rhythm sounds, we had some JHS pedal, which is their version of a tube screamer.
Okay.
Bonsai, I think it's called Bonsai, where they have all the tube screamer parts.
Yeah.
That's for you for the rhythm guitar. Because you cannot go into a rectifier without a tube screamer or a similar pedal. Actually, the best pedal is this, but don't tell anyone.
I mean, it's
For a rectifier.
for a rectifier, yeah. Because the rectifier has a floppy low end.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super rich, but you have to tighten up a rectifier. And the Horizon,
This tightens it up like really well.
yeah. I mean, it's a low cut with very steep filters, and you can really, really fine tune it to the guitar, how low you go and how much of the mud you want. And so that's
For the solo sound, I think the Archer clone style pedal, and not gain at 0. I put the gain at 3 because otherwise the diodes don't work. I put them just high enough so they work, and put a little dirt and warmth in there. So that's all the solo sounds. It's the same solo sound on every track. We didn't change anything. Rhythm tracks are sometimes a little tuned, sometimes rectifier, sometimes 5150, sometimes both. Yeah, and then we did all reamping, and Kai mixed the whole thing in the studio. And we recorded the drums in the studio. By the way, awesome drummer, Ralf Gottlieb, he did it in, I think, 2 days.
very good.
It's actually awesome. I booked 5 days for him. He did it in 2.
That's a good drummer because
He saved me a little bit of money.
Yeah. That's cool. And so what I do have here is the single tracks of your recording session.
Yes.
We can listen a little bit to what we have here. I think just
That's only bass and drums?
Okay, wait a minute. Also slightly overdriven, right?
Bass is the bass player recorded at his home.
Okay.
And he cut a little bit and repeated stuff. And then Kai did the bass sound in the studio.
Yeah.
So those are, I think, 10 different plugins running into each other.
Yeah.
He really did his magic there.
I think you can hear that the guys in the studio did a great job of getting rich tones out of each instrument, but there is no conflict of frequencies. So the character of each instrument sits in the mix at a specific place. And so, I'm so satisfied with the job from the studio that I could not imagine sounding it any better. Yeah.
Actually, I listened in my car, which has a crappy
stereo.
Yeah. I listened to, I think, an old Queenstrike record, and I thought, I would really have to change the speakers on the car. It sounds terrible. And then I put my album in, and I said,
maybe not.
This sounds way better. Which is not my fault. I mean, I played it okay, but the sound he did
in the studio is killer.
Kai is the man. I mean, if you want to record something heavy, go to Colos-Saal Studios.
Yeah.
My God, I will never record anywhere else. I mean,
it is a very good sound. Let's listen to the clean guitar for a second. So, I mean, with all the effects and delays and stuff, but I can hear the amp is on the edge of breakup, but still clean.
Yeah.
It sounds clean, and sparkly, but I mean, there is compression, but there's also, if you don't know it,
a tiny little bit.
yeah,
Where it's just like if I hit any harder,
then it would overdrive.
Yeah.
And that is the sweet spot. And by the way, this is why the gain or the volume on the AMP1, for instance, is also able to go into saturation, because if you are not getting to the edge of breakup, you sometimes can be sterile in a way that it's only click, click,
exactly.
click, 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 and I mean,
you have to use the sweet spot.
Yeah. Where are we? I mean, this is not your guitar. This is too much. I can play softer with the same setting. You have to find. I mean, I'm not playing your guitar and not the EQ setting, but
Yeah, but it's pretty close.
yeah, you get into this territory. What I'm trying to say is, get the sweet spot where you have the stages of your amp fully loaded without hearing distortion.
Yeah.
Just get to the point where it's too much, and then play less or dial back, and that is the trick. And then you are having, I believe, also like one of the best settings for clean. If you have totally sterile clean, it doesn't sit in the mix. It's kind of thin and skinny and not there.
Yeah, that's why people try, if they have like this kind of clean sound.
Yeah.
People go and put their simulations of channels, of mixer channels,
Yeah.
and try to put them in saturation. Like you have, for example, you have an API or something, and
Mic
put
preamp.
that, or like a tape saturation.
Yeah.
They want to get that, but you
Yeah.
can get it with an amp,
Exactly.
or with
Yeah.
like it is an amp.
Yeah. With
Even called amp, Thomas.
Yeah, yeah. We have to be clear about it. It's an amp. Okay. Next thing, we have the rhythm guitars, which are also sounding killer. Let's see what we have here. They start a little later. So, by the way, just listen to the bass by itself. This sounds. So the bass is also on the break. It is saturated more than the clean guitar, but it's not as heavy as the lead as the rhythm guitars.
This is the least distorted sound on the whole album, because
Yeah.
this is the least heavy song on the album.
Okay, let's check the rhythm guitars. First, without the bass.
You have to notice, they're pretty bright.
Yeah.
If you hear that without the rest of the band, you would think they are too bright.
Yeah, but in the mix,
Yeah.
you have the low end of the bass drum, you have the low end of the bass, and then the guitars are just sitting at the right spot, and you can hear the dampening, and that's something I believe you captured very well, because that gives the whole production, the organic pumping.
Yeah.
No, I mean, just the guitar and the drums, for example. So, I mean, this is properly produced guitar work. Is this doubled?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's two guitars.
Yeah, two guitars.
And
on the first 9 tracks of the album, we have 2 guitars,
yeah,
hard panned right and left.
yeah,
And on the last song, we have 4 guitars,
right.
with different amps. You
Yeah.
have to use different amps then. Otherwise, it sounds mushy.
Okay, yeah.
And you can never copy
At one setting,
never copy like a track and
Yeah.
put another amp on there, because you will have phase issues.
yeah.
It will sound terrible. So if you use different tracks, you have to play different tracks.
Yeah.
All the time.
And that's the beauty of doubling. And of course, you have to play tight, so it sounds not like all over the place, like nothing is in sync. And it should sound like a wall of sound with one clear information, but being so precise that it's human timing, but fully precision. And that's giving you that sound.
Yeah.
And one guitar is not doing it, it's the two guitars and the art of playing tight, in sync, and make it pump. Even when you do the damping slightly different, you would hear it. So I
played it so many times. I practiced that so hard.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to play an album that really sounds tight. Don't underestimate it. It was like really so much more work than I anticipated, the whole album. And then the solos.
The pain of discipline.
Yeah.
So, you don't get it for free. You
don't get it for free.
Yeah.
And also the solos, because in my sick mind, I was thinking I should improvise them, which I should have like just composed them, which would have been much easier for the album. Mm-hmm. And on the next album, I will. Mm-hmm. I will. But those are mostly improvised solos. There are some parts that are fixed and mostly improvised. And it's also very difficult to, because I recorded video for every solo, which I have not released, but I have it when I played the solos. And most solos are not one take, they're like 2 to 3 parts put together.
Yeah.
But I recorded all the parts.
Yeah.
So
at your place.
Yeah, at my place. I recorded them and then we re-amped them.
Yeah.
We did everything is re-amped.
Yeah. See, what is the title again? It is The Pain of Discipline. And I see a comment here for 2.5 years ago, somebody wanted to buy an AMP1 and was waiting for AmpX that comes out any moment. The pain of discipline, guys. The pain of waiting. And I tell you why, because good things take time. And about precision, what I achieved, like the latest thing with AmpX, little side story here is we achieved to have the analog components now to 1% of tolerance from each AmpX to the next AmpX. So when we recreate a certain amp, whatever it is, our amps or Mesa or a rectifier or a 5150 on the AmpX, we want to make sure that they sound the same with every unit being shipped, which is not the case with any of these amps. This is why I bought all the Marshalls, because of the tolerances. They are the same model, 50 watt Marshall.
Potentiometers, they have like 10% and then they're good ones.
Yeah. 10% is a dream.
Yeah.
Usually they go up to 20%. What we are using in the AMP1s already is way more tight in the way of tolerance. We have stereo potentiometers and we use them together so they kind of balance each out, reducing, kind of getting half of the tolerance. So we're going, in theory, down to 5%. And then the other components are also way more precise than the old school components. So when you buy one of those, you can open the box and you can be sure they sound pretty much the same. And the biggest tolerance are still in the potentiometers. On the AmpX, we have a lot of potentiometers because we have to make everything so flexible to recreate or create amps. And we had a few killer amps already out there, which is on my prototype, but how to make it precise. And this was the last, 3 months or 2.5 months that Julian was sitting in his office every day, going in the office. I could hear the measuring noises and the frequency kind of thing until he was happy, and we have it to 1%, which is, nobody has ever done analog technology with a tolerance of 1%. And we have to do it because in the digital world, it's not a problem. The algorithm has no tolerance. maybe there's some analog components at the input stage where the converter is, but hey, that's, still the rest is all evenly giving you the same sound picture. And we need to be at a similar quality level here. And if we would lose there and have one AmpX, hey, listen to the Vox AC30 on this one. No, mine sounds much better, but the rectifier on this AmpX sounds better on this one. No, that's not a solution. So every rectifier sounds the same on every AmpX.
And that's probably the reason nobody has done it before with the analog stuff.
It's like we are a little bit naive when we claimed the whole thing, we can do it. But when you go into, the pain of discipline, perfection, because that is the result you get. If you want to have perfection, you have to have discipline, and this is painful. And this is what we are going through, and this is what you have to go through as well. Sorry for suffering.
There are companies that would have brought it out 2 years ago with a tolerance of whatever, 7%?
Yeah, and some artist might have the holy grail amp, and all the other guys would buy shit. And this is not the case. I play the same amp that everybody gets out of the box at every music store on this planet. There is no special treatment here. And so everybody potentially can sound exactly like me but you can give me any AMP1 on this planet and I can be myself, not sounding different. And this is at least my discipline, and there's a little pain involved with that. Anyway, there's hey guys, with the AmpX questions, it's coming pretty soon. We have things achieved in the meantime which make me super happy, and I'm so confident that we get it right, and that's the most important thing. And even if it takes a little bit longer, because I stopped to make any announcement about dates, it's like, did you rush with your album? I think it was finished when it was finished, right?
Actually, you don't want to hear that. No, it was not. I talked about it for 5 years.
Yeah.
Then I said, next year I will do it. And then I said, next year I will do it. But then I said, this will go on forever. I now book the studio, and I booked the release concert, which I on purpose booked in Aschaffenburg, where it cost money.
Yeah.
So I would have lost, if I had cancelled it, I would have lost a lot of money without having anything. So I had to do it. And I booked the studio, I booked the musicians, I told them what they're getting money-wise, and I did everything. I wrote it in stone and told everyone. So to back out would have been expensive and very humiliating. So I just did it.
Yeah, and I think we have done a similar thing by telling the world we're doing it. The thing is, I was underestimating the hugeness of the product, but we are working full on every day on it. But we started even before we showed the unit. We started in 2017. Because
if it comes out in 2027, AmpX.
Yeah.
Now you know why the name is like.
Oh man. Okay, that's a good one. No, we can do it before. We will do it before. I will beat that one. Yeah, but okay. Didn't we stop in 16 or 15? Wait. No, we didn't actually. Yeah. That's karma. No, it will be earlier than that. I'm sure. And but in the end, it is. I think something. I don't. I do my things and I have to live with them. And maybe some people like some amps better than mine, which is fully, but at least I have to say, this is how I want it. This is, maybe in 10 years' time I do things slightly differently. But at the point when I release something, I need to be happy with it. I cannot sleep if I have the feeling like, oh, scheiße. This is, no.
Ja.
Okay.
Sehr gut.
So then, what else do we have a solo sound here? Where is the solo?
Yeah, it's actually the same sound as the rhythm sound, but with a different boost.
Ah, in front. Okay.
Yeah, and lots of delay and shit.
What amp did you use
That
for
was
the
a 5150 Stealth, I think.
a newer one? Yeah.
A newer one,
Yeah.
yes. I'm not pretty sure. I think it was a Stealth, yeah.
Okay. See, when in the moment where we have the clean guitar or so other frequency added to the lead tone, it all goes totally beautiful. And what I like about is my little comment here is I can hear the silver lining on top, which are the overtones in the overdrive lead tone, not in a way, but in a that kind of presence needs to be there, otherwise it would be boring. The moment when I kill the clean guitar, I think you can think again, do we need that high end? But I know yes. There's always a touch sizzle, but a nice sizzle. And I know people that hate sizzle, but if you would kill that, in my personal taste, it would sound boring.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, this is produced to the max. I mean, I can tell that the guys in the studio have done a fantastic job because, this frequency, I don't have a spectrum analyzer here, but this is way above 6K, 8. This is almost going into 10K, and it needs to have even something even above 10K, very little. Then it sounds silvery smooth. Otherwise, it sounds peaky, pokey. It would still work in a mix where there's a lot of other instruments, but when I have this soloed, the silk of the silver is there. Spot on.
Yeah, I said, studio, perfect job. And there's also a little trick to the solo sound because it sounds like I recorded it at a very high volume, right?
And you didn't.
I did it like, I mean, much lower than we are here now talking. It's a Sustainiac on all the time.
Ah. Okay.
Because then I have the very long notes, and and don't have to care about like Steve Vai and Satriani. It was a Satriani Chrome Boy used on almost all of the solos.
Yeah, but when you did the reamping, the amps were still loud.
Yeah, the amps were loud, but when I played it,
the guitar was giving you the feedback.
I had this little switch, bam.
And then sustain.
It's just like playing it very loud.
Yeah, so that's another interesting hint to get that artificial sustain.
Yeah.
Any artificial sound here? No.
Nobody would have guessed.
Yeah.
That. I played everything with the silver Chrome Boy I have. Almost everything.
Okay, there's a question here. Thomas, eine Frage. Du brauchst ja jetzt digitale Puttis. Kannst du mir Chips, den Log linear? Ich will da was basteln. Hä? Somebody wants chips. Okay, what kind of digital putties you want to use? We have a few of those already in AMP1. Yeah, I'm not saying it here officially. Maybe write an email at service@BluGuitar and
Come to Guitar Summit.
oh yeah, or let's talk about this at Guitar Summit. It's not the biggest secret, but I don't want to give too much away in the big public. But should the speaker this not cut?
Probably means the frequency. The guitar speaker with the 10K.
Yeah, but see, this is what I'm talking about, is a regular guitar speaker. People say, oh, it's only 6K or 5K, whatever. But there is more. There is more on top of that, because this is what we're hearing here. Because it's a real guitar speaker.
It's a real guitar. There's no additional frequencies mixed there.
Yeah,
in some kind.
It is totally natural coming out of the amp and the speaker that you mic'd up with the analog mic, with the analog blah blah blah. All these frequencies are there, and that's the thing. If you would simply cut the frequencies at 6 kilohertz, where they say the guitar speaker would end, it would be dead. Maybe I can fake it for a second with my mixing board here. I mean, it's just a cheesy Behringer. The range of this is only going to 5K. Maybe I try it. Maybe it's something. Okay, so this is like reduced. This is neutral as you recorded it. And this is boosted like too much. And in the middle position, it's just right. And if we are talking here about frequency, I don't have a spectrum analyzer here, but I know these frequencies go up even beyond 10 kilohertz. They have a slightly, they have something about whatever, 10 and 12, but if it's not there, it sounds dead. It sounds unnatural. It is part of the overtones of your amp sound, and they sound so smooth because the filter of the speaker has a roll off. So the amp produces a lot of this kind of digital, it's not digital, about this high sizzle. Sizzle is the word that I was looking for. And the speaker makes it more even and more pleasant by filtering it. But filtering doesn't mean everything is gone. It's just reduced to a nice amount. And this is why you place the microphone in front of the speaker, where you find it in the right amount and not too harsh. And harsh means that you don't get the frequencies that are lower, too much 6 kilohertz, or you know, when you have a spike, when you just have one spike there, it sounds unnatural. So you have to have a soft, smooth, tiny little bit of this extra silver. I call it silver. In my world, is silver.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's something. Some people have theories and that you don't need this and that. Hey guys, sorry, you are missing out on something. It is. We have ears and we hear a lot more. And even if we are not hearing all the frequencies anymore, we still feel things. Low frequencies and high frequencies. It's more complex than you think, and people always try to simplify things to a way that you think, oh, it doesn't matter. It is not the thing that is natural, and in the end, it doesn't make you happy. I tried several times to compromise with people that offered me something that, yeah, try this, it's okay, and I go, actually no, you know. And if you have experienced people in the studio, they know that, and they are striving for that perfect mix and that perfect balance of frequencies, and killer production.
And it's also, I can give you one tip. If you go to a studio with a guy that's really great, let the guy be great.
Yeah.
And don't tell him what to do.
Yeah. Or use another studio.
Yeah.
Because if it's not, if you don't have to, I mean, it's like the drummer in your band. They are fantastic drummers, but you have to find your drummer. You have to find your studio. That's the way you get the best results, because your vision has to be in sync with the guy that is mixing it.
So, but you have to choose people that have this vision.
Yeah.
That's the reason I chose my drummer, and I sent him to record the drums with Kai in the studio,
Yeah.
and I went on holiday.
Super.
And the drummer couldn't believe it. And why are you not there? And I said, yeah, you know what you're going to play.
Yeah.
Play what you think makes the sound good.
Yeah.
And Kai will make it sound good.
Yeah.
So what do I need to be there? I would bore myself to death.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would tell you to play stuff you don't like if I'm in a bad mood.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not there. I'm just, I was away.
Yeah.
So do it. We talked about every song and what he plays, and of course.
The vision needs to be there.
But I don't need to tell him, play this fill. I mean, I know somebody. You probably know him. I don't want to tell you that. I'll tell you the name after the I played guitars for him in the studio. Mm-hmm. If you're watching, this is for you. And he let me play a solo on his album. It's like 10 solos on the album, maybe 5. It was a pop album. Not every song had a solo.
Yeah.
And he didn't let me play a solo. He sang me the melodies I had to play. And I said, I mean, you're just stupid.
Yeah.
You have a guitar player that knows what he's doing, and you want to tell him what to play?
Yeah.
I mean, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's total bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, you're killing inspiration, you're killing the freshness. And for me, it is finding the right people is the most important thing.
Yeah, find the right people, then let them do.
Yeah, and trust
let
them.
the drummer play what he wants to play.
Yeah.
If it's totally not what you want, you can say, hey, can you try different and maybe the bass drum, but I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, yeah, because I totally agree. If you have the people that understand your vision or even enhance your vision. I have worked with people that came up with ideas that were even better than mine once they have understood what I wanted. I had also situations where people that I worked with a lot, I had to do the briefing correctly and get a picture in their head. And then once I knew they had understood it, I could lose.
I mean, we had some parts where the drummer played something and he did like some little fill, and I said, nah. I mean, that's not the problem in the studio. And I was looking to Kai and he said, nah. And we said, and then he like cut the one piece and put it in there. Also the bass player on like an end chord, he did like some peek, peek, peek.
Yeah.
And we looked at each other and said,
no, make it straight.
Yeah. And then we borrowed a C from another part of the song. He put the C in, and I mean, we edited a little bit. I mean, that's what you do in the studio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground here. I think.
Listen to the album. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, and every streaming service that DistroKid delivers to. So you can also go to the DistroKid link. You will find it on berndkiltz.com. The links to every streaming platform. You can also, if you want a vinyl, we have some left, not many. You can order the vinyl.
Vinyl.
You can order the CD as well. We have some more left of those. And you can also like stream it for free. So, and I don't care. If you want to support me, buy one of my courses.
Yeah, and that's gitarrenlehreronline.de, right?
Right, gitarrenlehreronline.de, and here's my my webpage from which you can come to Gitarrenlehrer Online as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Bernd, thanks for joining in.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, I think
I invited myself, but anyway.
Did you really?
No, I made you think you invited me. No, I'm just fucking with you.
Manipulating ourselves here. But hey, anyway, no, I really enjoyed all these details, and there is always something in the future. on any level, on
Yeah.
products. And I mean, I watch your videos sometimes like the audience watching your channel, my channel, you know, and it's such a small world. And again, you know, we are a community and we are here and we live the guitar in a way with all the different facets from more metal to more blues and whatnot. And we can share this knowledge, we can learn from other people. And that's why we're here. And hey, thanks for coming all the way from Frankfurt.
And now I have to drive back.
Yeah, because it's pretty late. But yeah, thanks for making the long trip. And yeah, I guess we are in contact anyhow. And if we don't see in person, the Guitar Summit is the place to
That's
be.
the latest we see each other.
Yeah. Okay, hey, thanks, Bernd. Take care, guys. Next week, I have an idea, but I don't tell you yet. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.